also the next generation. For our final speech this morning, Marcos Ramos will present the essence of education in building future leaders towards the success of our country. In his piece, the Filipino Build program, developing the educational system of the country.
Morning. Good morning. When I was in elementary, I viewed education as a competition. I viewed education as something that I am obligated to do. That is why I did my best when I was in elementary. At the point that I disregarded the feelings of my classmates. At the point that I stepped on them by doing mischievous things, such as teaching them the wrong answer in a particular lesson and hoping that they would write that wrong answer in their written exercises. Yes, I did that when I was in the 3rd grade. And at that time, I was hoping that my teacher would acknowledge me more than my classmates since I got a better grade. I've done these things because I felt like I have more privilege or I have more power than my classmates since I got a better score, even though I've earned it through unfair means. However, the downside is that I did not learn for the sake of learning, and I did not enjoy the process of learning. I just memorized the lessons taught to me in order to get good grades. Yes, grades is life. In the past, I viewed the grading system as a measure of power and as a definition of success in life. Years later, as I stepped into high school, I realized that education is not all about getting good grades. Education gives us knowledge. Education allows us to discover new things about the world, such as the sciences. It makes us aware of the events that are happening in our society. Education shows us the different perspectives in life, such as the different cultures in different countries, as well as the different religions. Education gives us the ability to create art in various forms, such as paintings, poetry, elocution, writing, and many other forms of art. And finally, education gives us the ability to create our own stand and reason out and debate our own ideas. Education is pretty amazing, isn't it? That is why it is one of the essence in life, because it is used as a tool to prepare us for the upcoming challenges that this world has to offer. As what Malcolm X, an American Muslim minister and human rights activist, said, education is the passport to the future. For tomorrow belongs to those who prepared it for today. Yes, the youth needs education because it is their passport to their future and their bridge to their dreams. The youth needs education in order to prepare themselves and to improve themselves from the struggles that society has for them. Education is the only way for those helpless families or helpless kids to escape poverty and have a brighter future. According to Article 14, Section 1 of the 1987 Constitution, it states that the state shall protect and promote the right of all citizens to quality education at all levels, and shall take appropriate steps to make such education accessible to all. This human right talks about the right to have access to quality education. So, what do I mean by quality education? Quality education includes having a good environment, having a qualified teacher, a complete school materials and school supplies such as books, and a safe travel of a student to their educational institution by means of school bus or any other modes of public transportation. However, despite the right of having quality education, the government still fails to address the issues on lack of classrooms, lack of teachers, lack of books, and poor environment for learning. In a documentary made by CCTV News last 2016, they featured the mountain villages of Dago in Zamboanga del Sur, wherein they show the daily struggles of students. They documented 3 kids going to school. And these 3 kids, they did not even eat breakfast before going to school. Their journey going to school took them a couple of hours to travel. The reporter in this documentary, Mr. Barnabillo, experienced it himself on how dangerous the journey that these kids have to go through every single day just to get to school. The kids were shown to cross rapid streams, rocky terrains, and even forced to cross a log that is used as a temporary bridge that connects to the other side of the stream. Then they have to cross the river. After they cross the river, they have to change into their school uniforms. They do this in order to avoid their uniforms from getting soaked wet from the river. And now they have arrived to Dagum Elementary School. Dagum Elementary School is one of the public schools in the Philippines that is shown to have lack of classrooms, lack of teachers, poor environment, and lack of books. Due to the lack of classrooms, grades 1 to 3 were compressed in one classroom. Furthermore, there's only one teacher standing in front of the classroom, teaching the levels grades 1 to 3. This teaching system will not aid the students to absorb the lessons well. This will make them confused on what lesson to take in, since the teacher is discussing all the lessons from grades 1 to 3 simultaneously in one classroom. In addition, the equipment inside the classroom, such as the tables, the chairs, the blackboard, are almost broken, which makes the students uncomfortable while studying. At the end of the day, these 3 kids have to go home from school using that same dangerous route that they took in that morning. Even though that they lack the electricity and proper materials to aid them at home in studying, they still endure. They find ways to study well. They endure using that one candle. that only emits a tiny speck of light in the darkness to aid them, to see, to read, to do their schoolworks. They endure using that one candle that emits only a tiny speck of light, trying to find that tiny speck of hope to be educated and to raise their families from the struggles of panning for gold and the struggles of poverty. According to Article 14, Paragraph 5, Section 5 of the 1987 Constitution, it states that the state shall assign the highest budgetary priority to the Department of Education and ensures that teaching shall retain and attract its rightful shares of individuals through adequate remuneration as well as job satisfaction and fulfillment. That is why the current government must allocate more funds to the Department of Education to achieve a good quality education for their students. Despite this policy, the current government still allotted much of its budget to Duterte's Build program. What is worse is that in 2019, the Department of Education will have a budget cut, despite knowing that their public schools offers poor quality education to their students. I'm not saying that building infrastructures will be a negative thing for the country. In fact, it will be convenient for the Filipino way of life. The Duterte Build program plans to create more infrastructures such as more irrigation systems, more energy facilities, as well as more bridges. However, as we focus less on improving our quality of education, we compromise the future. Yes, the future. As we focus less on education, we compromise our hope. We compromise the youth who are willing to serve and contribute to our country in our own little ways. We compromise the opportunity of those helpless kids to be educated and to raise their families from the struggles of poverty. We compromise those youth who have the potential to lead the country to success. We must not only build a place full of infrastructures. We must also build future leaders that will lead our country to success. Thank you and good morning.